I've created a sales automation that delivers hyper-targeted leads straight to a Slack channel every single morning. And I'll show you right here an example of how this looks. I just had this automation generate this lead, so I can show you this as an example. You can see here all the information we need about the lead. You can see the signal that generated this lead was an active job post, and you have all the job post information here. You have the recommended contact, as well as the personalized email that this automation created for us. And then we have options here to either approve the lead, disapprove the lead, or we can edit the email, which is this message right here. So if I go ahead and approve, we're gonna have a confirmation pop up. Just to make sure we don't accidentally click this button. If I confirm the approval, you're gonna see we get a confirmation message, and it says that the lead was also added to our CRM. Now you can see that this lead has been added to our Salesforce account, and you can use any CRM you want. In this example, I'm just using Salesforce. So every single morning, I'm getting a new batch of hyper-targeted leads delivered straight to the Slack channel. All I have to do on my end is approve or disapprove the lead based on the information provided. And like I said, when a lead gets approved, it's added to the CRM, and also it automatically starts to outreach to that lead. So I can connect this automation to a software like Instantly, for example. Instantly is a cold emailing software where you can create campaigns for leads. So you could connect it to that, create a 4-step email sequence, and then have that personalized message be that first email that's sent to the lead. That way, you're not only getting hyper-targeted leads from this automation, but you're also getting a hyper-personalized message that you can send them as a first message, either on email or LinkedIn, however you want to contact them. And this is all automated for you. Once again, all you have to do is either click approve or disapprove in the Slack channel. Now here's what the automation actually looks like. You can see here at the top, we have a job posting signal source, and we also have a similar company signal source. So with the job posting signal source, we're getting job postings from certain filters. You can see here I have the filters right now set as sales positions in Houston, Texas, and we're searching for ones posted in the last 7 days. That's what this variable means right here. And at the bottom here, we're just adding more filters to filter out certain job positions that we don't want, just to make the results more accurate. So now whenever this job posting signal workflow runs, we're only getting sales jobs posted in Houston, Texas in the past 7 days. From there in this workflow, we're going to get the decision maker with this people search node. We're going to be using Apollo for this. So for example, if Microsoft posted a sales position for Houston, Texas, we'll be looking for regional sales managers or directors in Houston, Texas, and those are going to be the decision makers we reach out to. From there, we're just enriching that lead to get all their information, such as their email and their LinkedIn profile. We check against duplicates because we never want to create a duplicate lead. So that's all this is doing right here. This Google Sheets node is checking to make sure that all the leads that get sent to Slack are not duplicates. And from there, all the new leads are added to a Google Sheet just to keep track of it all. For the clients that I work with, they never need to see the Google Sheet just because it's internal information for the automation. The only thing they have to deal with is the Slack channel, just approving, disapproving leads, and they keep track of all the leads they approve inside of their CRM because, like I said, this automation automatically adds those new leads to the CRM. Then we also have a similar company signal. This one runs every week as well, and all it's doing is searching for similar companies. So for example, if I'm working with a client and they just closed a new account and it's their ideal client, they love to work with them, then we will input that company name inside of this similar company signal. And every single week, it's going to generate new companies we can reach out to that match the profile of that client they like working with. And this workflow has tons of data points it checks against, such as the number of employees, their revenue, if they've had a recent funding round, if they've been mentioned in the news, location, all these data points to make sure that the similar company leads it generates are actually very similar to your ideal client. And to do this, we're just using a platform called Company Enrich. It has an API to find similar companies, and it works very well. My clients have been loving this. And then going back to the job posting signal workflow, we're using a platform called Core Signal, and the API that we're using for that platform is the Job Search API. And like I showed you earlier in the video, I did show you these filters. Obviously, they can be changed to match your exact criteria. So for example, if you're selling a sales software to B2B companies, you can go ahead and do a job search signal, and the filters can be for salespeople. So that way you're going to be reaching out to companies that are actively hiring more salespeople, meaning they are expanding and most likely have a budget to afford a software from your company. And you can customize this even more. For example, you can look for certain tech stacks mentioned in job postings. So for example, let's say you want to search for job posts in your area that mention HubSpot, for example. HubSpot is just a CRM software. Maybe you have a product that integrates with HubSpot and you want to reach out to those companies that use HubSpot. That's another way you can use the job signal workflow. There's so many opportunities here, and when I work with clients, all we need to do is find the exact pain points in their sales process and also find out exactly what their ideal customers are. From there, we can hyper customize this automation to target exactly the type of customers that they want to work with. This automation is looking for active signals from companies, and beyond that, you're actually implementing their active signals into the personalized message that you send them. So in this email preview, for example, and this was generated with the automation, every lead that this automation generates has this personalized message. I'll just read it real quick to show you the example. So it starts with, I just saw that your company recently posted a job opening for a sales specialist. I thought I'd reach out because my company, Summit Solutions, specializes in building automation systems that help companies like yours book more qualified calls and follow up automatically with inbound leads without needing to hire more SDRs. In fact, we just implemented the system for Alsco last month, and they're already getting 35% more booked calls. So you can see how personalized that email is, and we also threw in a case study. And obviously, if it does mention a case study, that's because we gave it the case study, we gave it to the automation. It never assumes information, so in this example, that case study would be real. And with clients that I work with, we're seeing reply rates all the way up to 15% for cold email. These are people that they've never talked to before. All because of how personalized this message gets. It seems like the person reaching out to them has done a ton of research on their company, when in reality, this automation just generated it for you. But you can see how powerful this automation gets, especially as you customize it more for your own company. Now, going back to the automation, this workflow right here is the one that actually delivers the leads inside of Slack. This is going to run every morning and deliver a set amount of leads to you. Now, I've been optimizing this workflow and I wanted to get it ready to just show on YouTube. So I just have a manual trigger set up for it right now, and I'm just having it deliver 5 leads right now. Once again, because I'm just optimizing it, I just wanted to show it on YouTube. But when I actually implement it inside of a company, we decide how many leads we want delivered every morning, as well as how often, whether you want it every day, every week, whether you want 100 leads every morning, whether you want 50 every other day. Totally customizable. This is just how I have the automation set up right now. I'm not going to get into every node just because, you can see here, this is just one of the nodes, how complicated it gets. I'm just giving a high level overview, giving you some ideas of how you can build this automation yourself or a similar automation. If you don't want to actually build this yourself and implement it, which I don't blame you, it took me a long time to learn how to build an automation like this. Feel free to book a call with me with the link in description. We can go over your current company's sales process and see how an automation like this or a similar automation can generate more revenue for your business while not having to hire more salespeople. So if you book a call, it's totally free. If we don't end up working together, you'll at least get some information about how automations can help your business. So if you're interested, feel free to book a call with me with the link in the description of this video. Now back to the automation, the last section we have here is the Slack actions. Now this one's where it gets pretty complicated. I showed you the approve button, but to show you an example, if I click disapprove, you'll see here we get a confirmation message that it was disapproved by me. Every time I click a button, it triggers one of these workflows right here. You can see here we have a webhook, and this triggers anytime a button is pressed in that Slack channel. And then I feed that information into this switch node right here. This is going to decide which workflow is going to activate based on whatever the action was. So for example, when I approve a lead, it's going to trigger this top one right here. When I disapprove a lead, it's going to trigger this one right here. It's a different workflow for every single action. And it's complicated, but at least you can see at a high level how this works. Just every single action I take is mapped to a specific route. And that's basically the whole automation. I'm sorry I can't go through each node. It would probably take a day to do. But I hope this at least gave you an idea of the automations you're able to build for the sales process inside your own business. So I hope this video provided you value. Once again, if you're interested in working with me or just want to learn more about automations for your business, feel free to book a call with me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.